to my channel. My name is Isabel. Today's video is going to be an updated review of the reMarkable. It was over a year ago now that I posted a unboxing and review of a reMarkable. I am going to be looking at my phone quite a bit because I've made notes because I didn't want this video to be like all over the place, so you have to bear with me while I'm reading. First thing I wanted to say, this video isn't sponsored. These are just my opinions on it, and there's things that I like and there's things that there's not much that I don't like about it, to be honest. They're just not, I'm not that bothered. I've got a reMarkable 2, which is here. I've got a reMarkable 2 and I've got the just normal marker. They call them markers, the little pen that you write with. I've got the original one. Reason being we'll get to in a bit. Some things I remember from the first video was that I really liked the packaging and that everything looks really just sleek and nice. Yeah, I really liked that. But one thing I did realise, and you can see in that first video, is there was a spelling mistake when I was setting it up. There was, so I can't remember what it said, but there was a spelling mistake in it. What was it? I can't remember, but there was a spelling mistake and I thought that was quite funny, to be honest. I wonder now if you buy one if it still has the same spelling mistake or if they were able to correct it. So the first proper thing that I want to talk about is the quality of the reMarkable. So I have had this for now over a year, like probably a year and maybe a year and a half, because I didn't post that first video as soon as I'd got it. It took me a while to edit, so I'm not sure how long I'd already had the reMarkable before the video went up, but it's maybe a year and 6 months, something like that it's been, and I haven't had any protective casing on it whatsoever. The type that reMarkable make is called a folio. I've never had one. I guess you could either buy one of those or you could get one on Amazon. I'm sure they probably do ones on there. I personally am quite careful with my things, especially if they cost more money. I've never broken a phone, for example, but maybe if you have been known to break things and be a bit more clumsy, then it might be useful to get something to put it in to keep it safe. But it has absolutely no marks on it whatsoever. It's still in like perfect condition. There's not a scratch or a dent or anything. I have also, oh, let me just check something. In terms of quality of the pen, I've only changed this bit once, as I can prove. This is what you get when you buy it. These are all extra pen tips, or marker tips, whatever you want to call them. And you can see that there's only one missing, like here. So they last really well, although I guess it's maybe dependent on how heavy-handed you are with it. I'm not very heavy-handed, so maybe that's why. I'll put some b-roll in of showing how to change it, because it kind of does need a change around about now, actually. You'll be able to see. That's what mine looks like at the moment, and this is what the ones on the spares sheet look like. So I'm really impressed in terms of that. The cable, the charging cable that it came with, is still in incredible condition. There's not like a tear, or, you know, sometimes after a while of having a cable it kind of starts to like break where the cable goes to the plug-in bit, and it'll, like, you'll see the wires, not a thing like that at all. In terms of glitches, it's never stopped working on me. It's never not turned on. It charges fast. It keeps its battery for a long time still. The only glitch it's ever had is when I'm using a notebook, as like I've imported a picture into a notebook, like an image from the web or like something that I've downloaded onto my phone, and then I've used the mobile app to put on my reMarkable. Using highlighter, it went all like, yee. like spiky. I don't know why it did it, and it was only doing it in this one part of the image, but I don't know. And it's not that like that section of the screen is damaged, it was only on one slide, like going through, that it was happening, so I don't know. Second thing I want to talk about is updates. There's some dust flying in front of me. Updates that have been made. Now, I've not got the best memory in terms of like what has been updated since I got it, but I'll just talk about a few things that I have noticed. So the first one being typing. You can now type on your reMarkable as well. I nearly just choked. You can type as well as just writing with your hand. Two ways to do that. There's a keyboard that pops up on the screen, just like if you were going to name a notebook, it would pop up and you can type in the name of your notebook or your folder while you're in the notebook. Now if you click on the text bit, it will allow you to type with a on-screen keyboard, and that's what I use. But you can also get a keyboard folio, so the folio that is the protective casing, they now have one that has a keyboard on it, I guess, which you can find on their website in the store section. Personally for me, it's something that I've never really used. Usually when I'm taking notes, I'm trying to be as fast as I can, just get all my notes down, and I'm much faster at writing, like handwriting, than typing. So it's never been something that I use, but I guess for some people it would be really useful. Now you can also type on the reMarkable mobile app. Again, not something that I've massively used. I think I've used it once. When I was out shopping, I remembered something and I wanted to take note of it in one of my reMarkable notes. But I did then, when I got home, I deleted the text and I wrote it down. I just made a note of it using the text function while I was out, and I didn't have the reMarkable and the pen and everything, you know what I mean. Another thing is the guides. So there is a guides section. For example, if you want to know what gestures do, you know, tapping on the screen with 2 fingers, with 3 fingers, swiping this way, that way, what those all do, they have guides. You can also do the startup guide again at any point, so if you've maybe not used it for a while and you go back to using it, you can do the startup guide and it tells you everything, how it works, what to do. Quite useful. And also something that I realised, that I don't know if it was a thing when I got it or not, but that I have noticed now, is that there is a handedness thing. So if you are right-handed or left-handed, if you go into the settings, you can change that so that it puts the toolbar on the other side. I don't know if it did that before or not, like when I first got it, but obviously if you're writing like this, you would be catching the toolbar on the left-hand side, so it just pops it on the other side for you. It's quite good idea. It probably already had that, let's be honest. I'm trying to think when I was setting it up if I remember choosing whether I was left or right-handed, and I think I do remember doing that, so it probably already did exist. Last thing I want to talk about is just some personal opinions about the reMarkable. First, the tools. There's an eraser, right? You can rub out what you have done. I personally, and I mentioned this in the first video, got the normal marker. This was £59, which I think is quite pricey. However, there's a marker plus, which has like a rubber on this side, so you could be writing and then rub it out, and then write and then rub it out, kind of thing. But that costs £109, and I thought I'd rather just write, click on a button, erase, click back on the pen and keep writing. It doesn't slow me down that much. I'm quite happy with this situation. In terms of the pen options, there's only a few that I use. The calligraphy one is fun for just like writing fancy, but I never really use it in my actual notes. Sometimes as a title if I'm being really out there. But the ones that I tend to use the most are marker, fine line pen, and mechanical pencil. I also sometimes use biro, but if you're light-handed with the biro, it can look kind of streaky. You have to be quite firm-handed with it. The tags are useful, however I mainly forget to tag things. The way tags work is, say you've made a notebook and it's about music, you would tag it music, and then if you were finding all of your things that were about music, you would search a tag music and it would find everything that you tagged music. Simple, but I've just kind of really organised my like desktop, if you want to call it that, layers Again, useful. I tend to use the layers to separate my writing from highlighting, so that if I want to unhighlight something, it's easy to do. One of my favourite features is the convert to text function. I mentioned before I don't type onto it because I'm faster at writing. However, sometimes what I've written I do need in text form, so I just convert to text and email it to myself, and then I've got it on my computer and I can put it in whatever document I need it in. And I think that that is pretty much it. I don't really think I've got anything else to say. I think I've remembered everything. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave a comment. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn post notification bell on if you are interested in being notified when I post other videos as well. I post a lot of different types of videos, so it might be something else that you enjoy on my channel. I'll see you in another video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.